intentionally putting themselves into 1v1s and fragmenting fights. And if Surreal are able to punish that play, then they should be able to have a pretty nice start off. As they've had some really good rounds on Breeze, Alfie especially. You have to watch out for this chamber.
Oh, you really do. We're looking at a really important matchup as well, right? Because Surreal, I mean, you can say that they've kind of made it second through their group. A team that you wouldn't really expect taking on the group of death, really, also, right? You need to consider that they come up against the Sector 1, Excel, managed to take them both down, right? So at this point, they're in a really interesting spot. A team that you didn't really expect them to be in right here, right now. So Reens quickly opening things up with his own pistol, but Admic is able to bounce back from that. Entering now the A side with Alfire's crosshairs. Seem as soon as that toxic stream will deteriorate, we'll be able to line up his shots, but one drops the other way, which means he will not be covered for that. A lot of control gained by the Anonymo side as they get the spike down, but they're also substantially pushed up in their opponents' faces. Slowly peeking through that audio cue is given away, and a simple collection will come in Admic's way. All down to Masic right now, as he's the final survivor. Has to run away from this, his chances are null. Moxi, a very quick round to get us started with Anonymo with first blood.
Yeah, good to see the entire team just pushing onto one of these sites instead of fragmenting and getting a little bit greedy. On the pistol especially, you just want to go for those numbers fights. You're not wanting to take the 1v1s, that's why they do bundle up and group push en masse through Hall and are able to overwhelm the Sova stuck there. And taking control of the site too. Spike goes down, Toxin Screen then entirely cuts off the bridge site, so Alfie can do nothing, forced to drop down. Sankyu immediately sees where that chamber is going to be coming from. As here's the force onto the Marshal coming out from Anonymo. Surreal going to be coming in on the full eco. Sheriff going to be up for music, but everyone else, aside from the Sky and the Jet, rocking the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, Surreal just going for a little bit of a stroll right now, you know, trying to roam through the beaches. It's nearing summer, right? It's April. I know it's a little bit early, but coming from Cyprus, you know, April is kind of a sign that things are starting to bloom. Summer is approaching. It's spring. I know. I'm getting a little bit too excited.
What is this thing that you talk of? What is this summer?
Summer. It's yeah, you just have to go to Cyprus and find out about it. Anyway, Kamik and Maniac getting the job done here. It should be fairly clean. And it's actually very squeaky clean. They've cleaned up everybody. Kamik somehow still alive, but I don't think he'll be taking any greedy fights. Zust will be taking on that dirty work, and Anonymo line things up.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you do have to watch out for if you're Anonymo, even though you're coming on the better buy. The Chamber being in the mix for Surreal, the Headhunter, is still a problem that you are going to be running into, and this is why I'm really happy to see Chamber taking his place in the meta, because it means that teams very similar to the way that we see the Jet ult ease the strain on the economy. Chamber just does so much when it comes to saving teams bucks. And still having Banks, real significant threat on the ecos that Headhunter does pose, as Surreal Esports now going to be coming in with the stronger buy. This should be their round to take. But again, Anonymo looking to eye up that A site, wanting to push through the Toxin Screen. They are going to have to be wary because it's rifle spray instead of the classics that's going to be waiting on the other side to meet them.
Oh, very sneaky. Alfai actually gets the cross through and is able to rendezvous away. Spike will go down, but a quick pick will definitely stand favorable for this Turkish side as they're slowly approaching. But Kamik is looking to be the caveat. He's a little bit far off of this corner, may want to bring in some madness from the side, catch his opponents' attentions. But so far, no trays have come across. Surreal finding a way on the site. Poison Cloud concealing their positioning. They've managed to hold it down halfway. Snakebite will fall, which means they can't really approach it that far. They need to go for these kills. Kamik and now reveals himself from the backside. Zust as well coming alive with that Bulldog. And that dog is yapping away at them. JJ, all that remains with a Vandal at hand. Anonymo have done it. Third round, a thrifty one. It's gone their way.
Someone just needs to wrap a bell around Kamik's ankles so that you know where the chamber is at all times. Because you're able to just slowly but surely, as that round progresses, get further and further uncontested through Hall and then pop out on Bridge. And still just aren't expecting it. Anonymo just box them in onto that site. And even though they're able to stick half of the defuse, the Snakebite means that they don't get the second half. There's Anonymo now. Rifles in hand, for the attacking side. This time it's not going to be an immediate push onto the A. Instead, they want to scrap in mid. They've got the rifles, they've got the distance, the spray to back it up, but they do trade.
Yeah, this is a trade at the end of the day. I mean, if they're able to trade equally with those weapons, it ain't that bad of a deal. Fire somehow manages to dance around those bullets and avoids them. JustHarry also. Okay, they're actually doing this. They're actually making this work. I'm surprised here. Okay, Reens finally gets shut down, but Fire wants to peek through again. And that's a spike in the middle of the open. Flash drive will get them out again. Moving them away, spray down across the wall, that's a kill, but Masic has been able to push through. Snick joins in, it's still a close one, but Surreal have done a ton of damage. Only one remains, and Maniac is so low.
At least you do have your 0.1 fragment and a flash drive, so you do have utility to try and set yourself up if you even need to use it. Now you have to make sure that you're not being chased through doors. Should be able to get the spike planted in the ground as Masic was all the way over towards that B site. Was prowling around mid, had wrapped around Cannon to pop up again behind the backs of Anonymo. Sheriff in hand has been able to upgrade the Vandal on the way, but doesn't know where Manic is going to be playing.
That's the interesting part. Manic could be anywhere. Onto the side. Peekaroo, that's the head, but Masic is quicker. Surreal, talk about thrifty rounds now. That's one for the books for them. Get themselves on board with just sheriffs. Spectacular.
All right, sheriffs and headhunter.
That's it.
Every eco that Surreal and Anonymo go on has to have a little asterisk at the end of the sentence being like, and headhunter in brackets. As we are going to get to see the replay, and it was absolutely beautiful. Like, it's really nice shooting coming out from Maniac, but Masic's just able to peek out, get that parkour onto the stairs. And this is something that Surreal do a lot. They do it on Icebox, they do it on Breeze. They opt into that operator as early as they possibly can. And it fits their playstyle to an absolute T. Because look where Masic is going to be playing from, and look who's going to be there to help set you up. That bodyguard, that guy's going to make it so hard to punish.
There's going to be a very fast approach coming through from the Anonymous side now that they've got weapons, but look at this close angle held by JustHarry, who will be shutting down Maniac, but can quickly be rezzed up. Spray down across the Toxic Scream will have to fall quickly, though. No longer as strong as it used to. Let's see if they're able to line things up even further. Resurrected, all 5 players from the Anonymous side are still alive and strong, able to shoot these bullets, thus peeking through, getting 1 or 2 off fire. But Admic, when does he go for the swing? Has an opportunity here. Could be catching his opponent on time. JJ caught with his guiding light in hand. Anonymo make this look quick, make this look easy, and gain themselves a very simple 4th.
You asked me when we were just looking at the agent selects, what agent I preferred, the Sky or the KO? And I answered immediately the KO. And that's why. KO is just so good at moving forward. Sky is great at creating bubbles of space where you can breathe and take the time to reset the tempo if you've got an operator to reset your position. But if you want to just move forward, press W onto a site, KO is just the best agent in the game to do just that. And it plays so perfectly into this team's playstyle.
Fire, Tour de Force. It's got a position that could work out for him, but I think they do tend to choose the main entry towards the B side. Let's not overcomplicate things, they say. I mean, it's actually not even a slow approach for them, but I think Surreal just made the wrong call there. Pistols, of course, not what you expect to be the difference maker, but they've done it before. The round that they did win was down to pistols, but they did get the first pick. See, out into the open. Snake lines away with 1. Now fire with 2 though, and Kamek bounced back. Sus coming in from mid. Kamek falls. This is difficult. Anonymo are now on the back side of this because Masic has found himself a Vandal. Sus is quicker to the trigger, and now fire falls in the same fate as his teammates did. Anonymo hold on. Don't fall victim to the sheriffs this time around.
Yeah, see, the setup that Anonymo did, just that was my main concern when I saw them actually decide to opt into Breeze. They fragment themselves. Yes, they're coming in with a better buy, and that's the reason why, despite fragmenting themselves and putting themselves into outnumbered fights, they are still able to win the round. But it's a costly one. And Surreal, they know how important this one is going to be. The operator's coming out for Masic once more.
It's so underwhelming how the crab just disappears like that.
It's just poof. It's the magician.
It's just poof. It's out. Confusion.
I mean, is it out of VCT? The crab never had a chance.
True, either way, those guns can definitely take you down. Yeah, I mean, last game we saw was kind of a very explosive game, considering the teams that we were looking at, Supermassive Blaze and Rebels, right? Or both of them can be considered aggro teams, right? Now we're looking at a different sort of play. What do you reckon? Anonymo Esports, Surreal Esports, how do they stack up when it comes to their playstyle, do you reckon?
I mean, you're talking Turkey region.
Yeah, still there.
Turkey is kind of known for pressing W and being super scrappy. But for me, what really stands out for Anonymo is that it's not really the duelist that we talk about. It's Sneak. It's Kamek. It's these Sentinels. It's these players that you really don't expect to be coming in top of the leaderboard, top of the ranks in the lobby. But these players are just so good at worming their way into spaces where you don't expect. Look again at where they're positioned. They're waiting to cut Surreal off if they get too aggressive. Mazik is suppressed, but is still pushing forward with an operator just trying to sniff something out. And Kamek is waiting with the tour de force.
I feel his satchel there was just baiting him. I think it was just a tease, you know. Yeah, that's there. You know I'm nearby, but you're never going to be quick enough to react to my shot.
It's the gentleman's warning.
It's gentleman's warning.
I will shoot you in 5 seconds' time, but you will know that I will shoot you in 5 seconds' time, so it is fair.
Yeah, it's like the black spot handed over from Pirates, you know? If you receive it, you're a dead man.
Oh man, Pirates 2 was a good film. But right now, Surreal just lost their best chance at finding that vibe that they looked for. Remember, they had the timeout. The operator's gone.
He's got an angle.
They do still have the angle on the entrance.
Ooh, Gillette also joins in. Now Fire as well. Kamek will try and bring his team back into this, but they're at a heavy disadvantage. Look at this backside from Alfire, and he's not even spotted. He stuck around, and I'm not sure Surreal know that this isn't quite covered from them. And Alfire can just merely peek past it. Quick headshot to be found. Snick draws it closer. A 1-on-2. What can you do here? In the middle of the open, 18 seconds, not much to work with, but isolates them. Tries for the other, but runs out of bullets. They both do! That was uncomfortable, but Snick comes out on top.
Like I said, Sneak is just one of those players that Anonymo just relies on for clutching. It was so apparent in their fights in their 2 matchups against XL. Ryan, I believe, pointed it out. Sneak is one of those players that can just clutch those moments. The fact that you had to reload and you still in the deal.
Enemy remaining.
Look at this. You can count the Mississippis.
Oh dear. Well, Surreal, you can tell they're under a lot of pressure right now. You know the good thing about this? You know, like we've casted together the VALORANT Regional League of Northern Europe, right? We covered that. The thing is that I have a trump card to the table. I can also support Surge, as I have 2 nationalities. I also come from Cyprus. I'm not only British, which means I can also support the Eastern lads, which are right now destroying. So yeah, go Anonymo! As I do say that though, Surreal have actually done a lot of damage here. Snick will try and draw it back, make sure that this round doesn't go more wrong than it already has. Dropping 3 players isn't an easy endeavor to come up against, but thankfully for them, Gillette is low. And they know that they can just play the control. Snick into the corner, has to peek away. It is a trade. 4 players die from the Anonymo side. Very expensive for them.
I mean, you do still get the round though. And that's important for Surreal because we're seeing Surreal, they're going, again, the operator's coming through. And this is the vicious cycle that they've fallen into. Buy an operator, operator gets nothing. Every single time the operator comes into play, Mazik is one of the first to fall because he just goes too aggressively forward. And Anonymo, they go hand in hand with aggression. But they play aggression smart. They move forward, they take a little bit of space, and it's to cut off Mazik when he tries to enter, when he tries to approach. This time he's not going to be moving through cannon or elbow. It's going to be peeking through doors. So a little bit of a safer cushion to fall back onto. But again, he's just creeping his way through mid.
Yeah, Anonymo were just waiting for that. They kind of knew that Surreal would try and go for something aggressive here onto the one end, trying to get that early information, but the interesting part is that they lose Gillette. They don't have the Viper. They can't conceal their positions, which means the B site take was very difficult. They had to push even further than that to seize control. But they have. They've got on the trades. Now they're on site, but Snick dies on that long angle. It's a 2-1-2, and still, this round is anybody's.
Are they going for it? Oh, they're eyeing it up. Drone's coming on through. Trying to get an angle. One has been spotted out. Where's the second?
Well, they've got Hunter's Fury as well. If they find a tag, it could be used, but no. Recon Bolt. Onto the back angle. Not finding anyone, but a fire will make those bullets work. Kamek out into the open. This is tough. He's very low. 46 points of health. Swing out. Both of them are waiting. Quadra for Alfire. Put a second round for Surreal on the board.
Oh, Hunter's Fury still in hand as well. That's massive for Surreal. The fact that you don't have to invest the ultimate. You've got it for this next round to come through. On Anonymo, once again, try and push aggressively forward. And again, the operator's coming through from Surreal. This is why it's such a precarious position that this team puts themselves into. They are big spenders. Every single time they can afford the operator, they will. And if it doesn't find anything, even if they take the rounds, their economy is so close to just slipping away to the point of no return. The only reason why they can afford to do this is because they're running both the chamber and the jet.
So far, so good for Anonymo on their own map pick. Surreal, though, are looking to play catch-up. Viper's pick quite early. Gives them a lot of space towards the safe side. Hunter's Fury looking for the second tag. Unsuccessful. But even though the Viper's pick is committed towards the A side, it's all an obfuscation. It's all an illusion. They're heading towards B, and it seems that Surreal may have got on the gist of this now. Gillette still onto the backside. They know now. Alfire also coming in. Gillette peeking out. Zus looking to hold on. But with 1 minute remaining and this team's not close by, it's going to be a difficult one. Isolated onto that side. He had to die. Adamic looks to rotate over, but Alfire knows where he's coming from due to that Viper's pit. Surreal, a very determined round here and a very good read on their opponents.
Yeah, you can tell that they don't fall for it for a single second because the Hunter's Fury doesn't come out. It's the Hunter's Fury from Anonymo's side to further sell the bait. Yes, we're pushing onto the A. This is where our presence is. This is where we're making noise. Turn your attention away. Anyone who's anchoring onto the B, turn to us. We've got mid. We can catch you on the rotation. But Surreal, they don't fall for it. They've still got the Hunter's Fury. They've still got their economy, and they've still crucially got the operator.
Surreal this time around aren't opting for anything too aggressive.
It's good to see.
Good to see.
They're adapting. They figured out that if they go for that early aggression, Anonymo will have numbers advantage. They will push them and they will punish it.
We've seen them being able to punish teams like Rebels. Obviously, to the far extent of the series they've played. Wasn't an easy endeavor. Let's look at this, though. Aggression coming forth. Not accurate for Maniac, and that means that Reens has to get the first kill. Anonymo concede their first play in this particular round. Kamek, though, he's aggressed onwards, and I don't think Nest is being read by anyone. I don't think Nest is taken over by anyone. This splits the entire map in two, therefore the isolation of kills could come forth. Looking to move in. Dash towards the site. Gillette is able to find it, and now builds time for Alfire to peek through. They've got no clue he's there, and that will be what is perfect in this endeavor for the Surreal side. To peeing away, getting the alternative angles. There's a Viper's pit into the center of that site. A Spike out into the open as well. Kamek up against 3. He's got a whole lot of trouble up against him. Yes, he managed to gain some early space in mid. And yes, he tried to split this map in two. But the trades towards that site just did not go their way, and therefore they have to concede this round.
Yeah, again, it's that same concern rearing its head. And on a mercy, okay, Surreal aren't going to put themselves into a really easy to take advantage of position, and they get greedy. Look at the way that they fragment themselves onto that map. Yes, they're able to push all the way into mid, all the way up through Nest, all the way up, there's the crap. All the way into practically touching defender's spawn, but it doesn't find anything because the real fight, where the Spike should be on the site, is going Surreal's favor because they've got numbers. And Anonymo, by getting greedy, by trying to monopolize such a vast part of this map, They're never going to have all of the hands they need to take the fight, but Tour de Force is going to mean that Surreal already one hand down.
Look how fast they're pushing onto the site. Zus updrafting away and catches out Reed out into the open. JJ wanted to push through, but Admic peeks through his own toxic screen and gets the kill. Anonymo needed to amp up the pace, and that they have, taken down everyone in their way and have not dropped a single player. Full site control with 2 left here. ExWarrior looking to bring it back, but it's going to be a tough one, especially due to the fact how deep Anonymo are playing this. Snake also accurate, never going to miss that shot off fire. Also, now realizes I'm in too far out of my depth. It's the last round of the half, therefore has to go for it, but to no avail. Anonymo are ahead at half time by 4 rounds.
Oof. And last time they played Breeze, they had such a good defense. If you're Surreal, you've got to be feeling a little bit closer to the edge of your seat. You can start to see why Anonymo did want to put this map into rotation. And it does. It's going to come down to a lot of this is going to be decided on whether Surreal are going to be able to clinch out pistols. Because now you're trying to move forward with a Sky. And like I said, KO is brilliant at breaking crossfires, is brilliant, especially with the null command, at being able to just move forward and brute force your way onto these sides. But it's a movable object with unstoppable force when it comes to aggression from both of these teams. Someone's got to give.
Yep, someone's got to give. Anonymo doesn't look like they're either ones to do it, though. This is their own map pick, and it seems that they've shown resilience so far on the attacking. Let's see if they can show as such on the defense. Us peeking out from that, but dashes away to safety. Admic, the first one to find a kill this particular round as they do cross onwards. Quickly rendezvousing back, but it seems Surreal found an angle to work with 3 on 3. They look to close up the gap towards Spawn. Snake coming in from mid. Masic trying to keep it close, but it's still a difficult one. Up against 2. They're low. Finds both heads. Masic! What an incredible clutch! A quadra kill for him. Gives Surreal the pistol.
Oof, Masic. Magic hands with that pistol. And once again, Surreal, they're going to be opting in. Rifle in the Jet's hands. They're looking for the kills. They're looking to win this round out. And they're looking for it to be flawless. They know that it's going to come down to economy. Especially in rounds and moments like that.
Enemy remaining. Clutch.
That's just too clean. That is just too clean, Moxie.
Well, can you find the same fight with the Marshal?
Yeah, Admic is in a difficult spot here. They know exactly where he is. Okay, the toxic screen will give him some space to move out of it, but no. Just decides against it because his best chance of getting a kill is his own close distance. Okay, Fragment falls to his feet, therefore Surreal may think maybe he's not covered. Yeah, that Snakebite would do it though. Admic is just, oh, he's crumbling to his death. That's such a slow sight.
Such a painful death.
Such a painful death.
Oh no. Oh, it whiffs. Headhunter not able to find the pick that it is looking for. And you're forced to evacuate out from mid. Or at least from top. Instead, you're going to be moving to try and cut Surreal's path before they hit that B site. Because no one is in tunnel. No one can punish the players as they pile out from Arch.
The weapons are doing what they were expected to do, really. And Anonymo definitely will have to fight back that next time round, right? That next round. So, yeah, Moxie, we're looking at a potentially very close game here because Surreal now has started to gain up that tempo. We knew how strong they were during the group stage when they're able to do that. So do you reckon we'll be seeing something similar now on Breeze and take home Anonymo's map pick?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Surreal have a really strong map history on this area as well. In fact, both of these teams do, so it really is that testament to who's going to be able to clutch things out. And I thought it might come down to EMEA versus Sneak, but it's coming down to EMEA versus Kamek in some of these fights. Mazik's just been having an absolute wonderful game, though. Doing so much for the team. Still sitting on that Marshal, though. This should be Animo's round to take the rifles in hand. You're really scratching your head if the defense lose out on this one. But Mazik's still going to be a threat, especially with those knives coming through.
Guiding Light moving on towards that A site, double-sided approach as they do look to commit to this push. Zus out trying to find the right angle at the right time, but Masic just swings by and overwhelms him. Kamek, though, still holds on. Very low, though, but Snick finds a time to rotate around it, find a backstab. Kamek will hold. Anonymo, they made this look clean. Only Gilles left, and I'm afraid with a spike out into the open, is looking for a miracle. Already isolating the first, looking for more, but that long distance with the Spectre will not be a simple endeavor. Snick sneaks up behind, gives the kill to Anonymo. Triple for him in this particular round as Anonymo holds strong with their lead.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a greedy toxin screen, to be honest, coming out from Surreal. Normally you want to have it right on the exit of tunnel as it meets the B site, because it means that Snick can literally just pop their head out from tunnel, get the shots in as they move onto the site, then duck back through. And no one can really press them. But Surreal, they wanted the beauty of cutting off tunnel, but they want to try and cut off archers and defender side spawn as well as elbow. And it does cost them. As now they move forward, operator in hand for Mazik, and already finding a pick.
Yep, Snick far out of his depth there, and he wasn't even out of the shallows.
Here.
Oh.
Are they expecting Sus to be this deep, though?
Poison's off.
That is a good question. To be fair, Snick did die in a pond. But, you know, it's... Surreal look to move in a little bit deeper. Maybe fancying themselves some further information gathering. Maybe putting their eggs in one basket. Look, 3 players towards this A side already. They've also got a toxic screen they can work with there to assist them with this hold. So it's not all over, because it seems like they made the right choice of committing their players in this direction.
Anonymo, they have to commit onto one of these sites. They're missing this over, they're missing the recon bolt. Toxin Screen should be giving a big old warning up, though, that Surreal are going to be pushing through.
There's no time to rotate. They have to commit to this. 30 seconds, they have to move on.
30 seconds left.
Giving the operator to the backside of that angle. Reens will be playing it close. Admix, Snakebite doing its work, spraying across. Masic looks to open up, but they evened the scoreboard 3-on-3. The scales now equal-sided, and now they need to push through Reens. Safe plant coming his way, looking to spray down across the cloud burst, but they will be able to find the stick. Zus onto the side angle on top, looking to catch them off guard, but they all drop like flies, slapped out of the sky. Surreal, an impressive take by them.
Oh, Animo were mad about that one. They had them. They had them on against the clock. They had them all stuffed up in cave. They even managed to catch one out with the snake bite as they tried to move forward and get that spike down. But spike goes down, it's behind the back of pyramids, and that just provides so much cover for Surreal to separate those fights out and really force Animo out from their comfort spots. As this is not a comfortable buy coming through. Tour de Force is still going to mean that you do have to worry. Kamek playing just a little bit more aggressive.
Oh, he needs this. Elfire's also got an off angle of his own. Yeah. Make sure he hides away. Knew of his positioning, therefore couldn't just go too far out of that. But yeah, he had the high impact weapon this round, right? So if the Tour de Force won't be able to do much, the rest of it won't be able to. They commit the ultimate, they commit the Hunter's Fury. As they try to push through, they've got their teammate to hold their back to maybe pull off all these 3 shots before aggression comes their way. But yeah, that's quite a lot of utility used out from Anonymo in a round which shouldn't hold too much substance.
They want holes. They want that crossfire from door so that they can punish as you move through from cave, because Toxin Screen and Spray, when you have just one team pushing from one angle, it's so punishing no matter what buy you come on from.
How did that even happen? I swear Surreal were on top. I swear Surreal had better weaponry. But a thrifty round would put Anonymo on top, would put them into double digits.
Like I said, you need that crossfire. If you're the defense, you have to know that you don't need to constantly turn around and check to see whether or not someone's pushed up hole and they're going to be peeking out from door. And Surreal now are taking a timeout because a couple of rounds ago, Anonymo were mad at losing a round, but I'm telling you, Surreal are raging. That was theirs. The buy that Anonymo come in on, it's more than broken, but the Hunter's Fury to guard holes, to force Surreal to back out, push them tail against their legs through the same angle, funnel them right in to the waiting arms of Admik. It just does its job beautifully.
Yeah, JJ's just putting them together right now, saying, all right, guys, we've got a job to do. That's all right. We lost one. Should have been ours. Collect ourselves. Right? Get back into the game. Put your game faces on. We've got an opportunity. Yes, this is our opponent's map pick, but we've stand a chance, and that's the important part. We've got weaponry that we can work with. As this pep talk is coming underway, Anonymo are also prepping up themselves. Look to see if they can carry that momentum onwards.
Well, Surreal's game plan is apparently going to be a B-site push.
Yeah.
But Anonymo aren't playing super aggressively forward. They are playing towards the back of this site, waiting for Surreal to show their hand.
Bolt is set to the back side. Okay, Seekers will be thrown out. Snick, he's revealed so much with just a single Al drone. They're delayed also, looking for an operator shot. If they weren't slow, he might have even gotten a kill here, but Massive finds himself onto the site. Sus ends up falling to Reen's push, and this double-sided approach works like a charm. Viper's Pit looks to guarantee it out into the open. Massive whiffs his shot, which means he has to fall. 4 against 4 still. They're looking to equals things up, but this Viper's Pit is impenetrable. Shock Dart, softening them up. Snick finds one and draws back into safety to get replenished. Admik still will be shutting down on fire, but there's a pesky Viper peeking out from the shadow. Gilleste looks to hold it down, and JJ once again finds a beautiful headshot onto Maniac. All down to Admik. And up against two, my friend, it's not going to be an easy one. Oh, this Viper's Pit means that they could be anywhere. Needs to be lucky at this point. Surreal need to misplace themselves, need to make a mistake, otherwise they're not going to give this away, are they?
Grab up and run. Grab up and run.
Run, Forrest, run.
Because Surreal are going to be chasing you. They do not want to let that weapon go. And Surreal, they punished the fact that Anonymo invested that Hunter's Fury without the weaponry. They had to rely on the Sova ultimate to hold holes in their sway. And Surreal know, okay, it's not going to be there. There is no punishment. They can't even counter Viper's Pit because Anonymo activated Viper's Pit of their own on the A site. And that timeout, it did its job. I think a Guardian come through, but honestly, that's still something that you have to be so scared of on Breeze. For Anonymo, they have to be so scared of Surreal inching up that distance.
This is going to be straightforward here from Surreal. Let's not overcomplicate things. Oh, could have been alignment though. Kamek is happy to get one and move out. But JJ will be able to pre-fire him. He's held that position one too many times, therefore it's just so easy to telegraph at this point. Let's see if they switch things up here as they quickly rotate over. Anonymo very close to this approach. And again, Masik, a position he's all too familiar with, will be able to bounce back from once again. Xas has to just get that operator, get a kill, and run away once again. Surreal, they're closing up this gap dangerously quick.
It's a game of hot foot with that operator 2 times in a row now for Anonymo. And I like that Surreal are getting aggressive. The operator really relies on hesitation from teams. It punishes teams from being indecisive and waiting. If you don't give it time, if you get aggressively in its face, if you take away the space and force us with the operator to be out of the fight, sideline him back onto that rotation, that's when you can punish. And the fact that it's something that Anonymo have stuck to so many times in a row, it's starting to now get too predictable. To read out, Surreal have adapted around it. And even though we're seeing some really good suppressions coming up from Maniac, right? It catches music, it forces you to just hold your angle. Suppression is not lockdown. You can still shoot, you can still move, and you can still kill.
We're approaching a dangerous threshold here. Surreal could easily get themselves to double digits.
I've got your trail.
Surly aggression has come forth here from Sus. The only big gun they do have at their disposal, but look how they've been punished. Look how they've been stopped. Kamek will be finding himself one, but the rest of them will fall victim to a Hunter's Fury Maniac. Not again. Not like this. With a simple sheriff takes down the big guns. Spike touched over. Reigns recovers it. What a beauty. Could have gone wrong in so many ways, but he's able to stay composed.
Ooh, clutch plays coming out from Surreal. Equalized 10-10. And the Seekers, again, just they know the operator is going to be there. They know that Anonymo are going to be relying on it to slow Surreal down. So what do? They initiate. Seekers comes out. You can't hold the angle with an operator. Sus is taken out to the back. Nazic's able to find the Vandal shot onto the Jet. No operator gone. Everyone can move forward. And then Rian's able to just grab the spike and still find the kills. As Anonymo surely are thinking we had the lead. It was so decisive. What went wrong?
Yeah, that round wasn't too bad for them, though. All right, good eco, lads. Get those pats on the back. Can they stay composed now with a weaponry? No, already initialized Admic. Out into the poison cloud, goes for the peak, good succession with the flash, only able to find one before he falls himself massive. In the middle of nowhere. Maniac also wants to be a menace here and knows exactly where his opponents are. Anonymo seems to be finding these long-distance shots, but Reens hasn't had enough of it just yet. Aljo peeking through, Alfire looking to do the heavy lifting as well. They've turned the tides once more, and it seems that Zus has only got 5 bullets, no space, surrounded by everyone, and a shock dart dropping to his feet will make him drop to 31 points of health.
It's got the spike though. Surreal are going to have to come to him.
Look how much he's repositioned though.
He thinks they're coming through hall.
Yeah. He's heard noises towards
30
main.
seconds left.
But does he know there's 2 of them? Now he does. What a shot! Sus, that was insanely beautiful. Will you do it again? He knows where he is, backs away from it. 15 seconds, the pressure is on Alfire, but he takes him down and holds it for his own. Surreal gained the lead.
It's so close. It's so close. He almost pulls it off. That 15 seconds, all he had to do was live just a little bit longer. But Surreal will start to lengthen that gap, 11 to 10. Anonymo's economy, they can still afford to full buy into this round. It was such a good opening from them as well. That null command catches so many members of Surreal Esports. That's the reason why the spike goes down at the entrance to A site. But yet again, as that round progresses, Surreal, just keep that faith, keep that mentality, keep the focus.
Oh, talk about faith. I believed in Zus there. He nearly managed to pull that across. Talking about Zus. He's been spotted, guiding light. They'll hear him. Ooh, only good for one in that instance. Okay. Slow things down a bit. JJ damaged up substantially. Even though he's got healing capabilities, they're not good to heal themselves up. They do reroute towards A.
Losing the Jet's more impactful for Surreal as well, because now you're not going to have someone to just dash through that toxin screen and draw the focus away. So Surreal can't just move through the toxin screen, instead they have to take a little bit more of a scenic route. Put up that split focus so that you can survive as you move through from cave. And we'll surely have to know that hall isn't clear.
Only left one player towards this B site. Hall now taken over by JJ. Surreal quickly grabbing the advantage here onto the backside of site. Admic also ends up falling. Good lineup with the recon bolt. And now Manic. The map is closing in on him. He's being suffocated here. Snakebite to his right. There's a player behind him. 2 on site. 1 to the side. Celeste will peek through and take him out of his misery. It was just going on too long for him. And now Kamek is all that remains. Tour de force. There's a player behind him. Good luck with that one, mate. Surreal, take charge. Anonymo's map pick, maybe no more, because Surreal only need 1 round to go now.
Here we go, match point. And Anonymo, it was looking so good for this team. But Surreal, they pulled it back. And this is not the buy that you want to be on that defense when you're on match point. Sus at least will have the knives, but Kamek invested the tour de force. So when those knives run out, and if they don't find anything, the Marshal is going to be what you're relying on to keep Surreal at an arm's length with. We have to see Sus be wise about how you move through. Isn't going as aggressively towards mid. You could already even see that guiding light opening up from Surreal. They were expecting Sus to be looking for that pick. They were expecting the knives to come searching for her head. But Sus is being patient, and the flash won't pick him out.
Anonymo cannot falter. 2 rounds. Get them to OT. This is where they thought they stood most of a chance. Surreal has surprised everyone. First, making out of the group of death. Now, can they make a lower bracket run work out for them?
Trailblazer checks elbow. Music's checking tunnel. They might not be expecting us to still be hovering around Nest. That smoke's going to be running out any second now. And so they have to cycle into the drone to make sure that the angle still is clear, still is safe to push into.
So much is throwing at Maniac right now. Spotted out. They know there's some sort of a 2-player stand-up playing on. Buddy system seems to be working out like a charm. As simple as they come, it seems that Surreal may have bitten up 2 more than they can chew. Zas, Admit, Kamek all lining up together to take down Surreal. It seems they're not done with this endeavor just yet.
So, Pavlos, do you believe in the Moxie over 10 curse?
I believe in Anonymo coming back. Whether that is a curse or not, I think they stand a chance.
No, it's definitely not a curse. We're going to see wonderful rounds of Valorant. And that's a blessing if ever I've seen one. But for Anonymo, they have to pull it off again if they want this to continue. They're 1 round away from putting us into the first OT of the day. And this is a cleaner buy coming out from them. This is a cleaner setup too.
Oh, look at that Hunter's Fury. I think it tagged. Oh, I thought it tagged 2 players there, but it only tagged once.
That suppression's making it so much harder for Surreal to try and move forward. This is Anonymo just playing the clock down, putting Surreal into that state of panic where you don't have the seconds left to be able to check all of your angles. But Seekers are going to show exactly where Anonymo are playing.
Guiding light as well, assisting the push out into the open. Upshaft away, he's able to TP out of there, switch up of that position, and stays alive after it. Masic looking to push forwards, just lining up some blaze towards mid. Still equal when it comes to the numbers, desperate to find the advantage, but Anonymo are the ones to stand their ground. Gatekeepers of the B site. And Reens, what can you do here? Can you allow Surreal to stay ahead in the series? Can you allow them to get this first map locked and loaded? Drawing it down to a duel. Kamek is low also. Can Reens do it? He's already found the 2, 10 bullets, looking to recover the spike. Does he know he's close to their backside? Recon Bolt will not reveal him to the other side of it. He has no idea. He's got no clue. Will get caught out, and Kamek will be able to take Anonymo to overtime.
Kamek, the savior in that round. Anonymo get pushed by the Seekers, but Kamek's able to stay calm. Able to find that 1 pick and then just uses the rendezvous to get out entirely unpunished, still alive, still able to win the 1 versus 1. And it is OT, which means we will see at least 2 more rounds of Breeze. Surreal going to be starting off on the defense this time. Operator for Mazik coming on through. And it really is going to come down to whether we see both of these teams fall back into that very early state of play that we saw, right, Pavlos? That was always being punished by the other side when you went too aggressive, when you went just a little bit too gutsy to grab that space. Every team was just looking for that immediate punishment, and Mazik is, ooh, that could have been absolutely filthy if he'd moved up right.
Any movement, any sort of mistake to be made can be punished at this point and could cost the entire map. Anonymo, now on the attacking, managed to gain the first site take here. Flash drive, looking to peek out, not as deep as they would have liked, but they still run away with a kill. Impressive. Green picks up the operator. Maybe to take use of that, JJ. Entertaining the idea of committing a backstab, but there's 2 players and you're just not ready for that one. Anonymo know exactly what they had to do. They read the assignment. They knew how to recover this. Even though kills are found from Alfire, they're all in vain. Anonymo have got the lineups right and will be alive, will be ahead, and now have another chance of closing out their own map.
Match point.
No, Anonymo were able to clutch out last couple of rounds. Surreal have to do the same now if they want this series and this map to start off right for them. It's definitely one way of doing it, you know, even if Anonymo were able to take this map, that picked map, still feeling a little bit somewhat shaken in your confidence that it went so close. Surreal going to be on the attack, but Anonymo, that defense, we talked about it, it's so good. Now that they've figured out the tempo, the level of aggression that they can get away with. So it's going to be that dust up in mid,
Boy.
and Sus is the one that comes out trumps.
Oh, imagine Surreal. You can't drop the ball here, already losing 2 players. They were on map point for just a few rounds. And now that it's overtime, it's crumbling for them. We've seen them in OT against Excel, winning every time. But this time, the script might have changed. Easing across, they'll be spotted. They know the entrance has approached. Kamik close by, won't even rendezvous away, which means that will pay with his life for it. 2 on 3. Backside of the site they go. Anonymo have already managed to rotate over, already have their players to contest this. The spike can't go down comfortably.
Hunt goes through.
Oh, Masic, quick kill. Masic wants to go for the side swing once again. Maniac closes it out and gives this game to Anonymo. Map 1 of Series 2 of the day will be heading in the direction of their poles. It was close, but they've done it.
I mean, we wanted to see close matches. We definitely got to see a close match in Breeze. It was an absolute knife point between both of those teams, so many rounds in a row. And if that just is an opener for the next couple of matches of VALORANT, we're going to get to see Pebbles. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Icebox is next. Breeze was Anonymo's home ground, but Surreal can show us what they're made of on their particular map pick. But I'm sure the analysts have got more to say about that. So before heading to them, we'll head to a small break. So we'll see you right then.